fellow members and guests, by doing which job would you want to be famous? Has anyone got a desire in that respect that you would want to be famous for? Personally, I would love to be a footballer. Football is actually a big passion of mine, and I spend a lot of hours watching and discussing football. And you would actually think I'm crazy, because if you are outside football, it doesn't make that much sense to follow a hobby like that. But actually, I can talk to you about football for many hours and why I enjoy it, and it's basically my hobby. Tonight, I would like to talk to you about 3 famous people from 3 different professions, and I would like to bring to your attention the difficulties that they face because of their job, you know, the stress that they endure. And actually, there is no percentage for people being depressed. I cannot give you a percentage of, you know, how many actors or musicians are depressed, because not everyone is open about it. In the West, it's becoming more common for people to be open about it. But not everyone is, you know, that brave to come out and say, I've been depressed for the last 2 years. So I don't have the percentage, but it's quite a high percentage. And I would like to give you a recent quote. Last week there was a retired Turkish footballer, if you know him, Hamit Altıntop, and he said that in Turkey all the footballers are depressed because of the social pressure. So that can be a good reference, I guess, to take from a retired footballer. So here is my first famous person that I would like to talk to you about, and I would like to share with you her story, which I found very interesting and quite cruel, I would say. So I hope you'll be able to show some sympathy and empathy to her. Keira Knightley is a very famous actress, and I would say she's one of the best in her job because she's been nominated for Oscars twice. Okay, she hasn't won it, but you know, being nominated for Oscars is quite a big achievement. I get extremely emotional every year watching the Oscar ceremonies. And in her early 20s, she found fame. She became very famous after making 2 movies. First one is Pirates of the Caribbean, and the other one is Love Actually, which I thought were both great movies. And actually what happened after these 2 movies, she got extremely depressed because she got very bad criticism on her acting. And although she knows that she is good, and you know, she's making a lot of money, she couldn't take the criticism, you know. She said it destroyed her self-esteem, and it took her actually a year to recover from this depression. So this is just, you know, for you to feel how it's like to be a very famous person, because the number of criticisms she gets, maybe she got it in millions, you know. And together with social media today, it's a lot to absorb. Second person I would like to talk to you about is Michael Carrick. This is the big specialist for football fans. He is a retired English footballer. He played for Manchester United, which is one of the biggest clubs in the world. Actually, their supporters, they call their stadium the Theatre of Dreams, and they won many cups there and many, you know, league titles. Michael Carrick won the Champions League with Manchester United in 2008. You know, again, this is a dream achievement. I mean, I wish I could just see it in my dream, you know, just to win a Champions League. And the year after, they were again in the final, and they lost the final because he made a terrible mistake, and the opponent scored a goal because of the mistake. And he says that he never recovered from it afterwards. It took him, the guilt feeling of causing your team, your supporters the cup. even if you are extremely successful, you know, you won the cup a year before, he couldn't handle it. So it took him some years to get over his depression. Thirdly, I would like to talk to you about Robbie Williams, who is again a great musician. He's a songwriter and a singer. He's actually won many awards. And interesting thing, he's married to a half Turkish-American lady, Ayda Field, and her Turkish name is Sabahat. Robbie Williams, although he's won many awards, you know, I can easily tell you he's one of the best musicians I know, one of the best British musicians. He's suffering from severe anxiety, and you know, anxiety that you feel especially on stage. And with musicians, the problem is more complicated. They are also, you know, they have some alcohol and medicine problems, to put it mildly. And he just had to cancel his latest tours. And he's saying that the anxiety is now coming to a stage that he thinks that he's scared that it's going to kill him, you know, it's that severe. And he's just, you know, so tough, you know, being a singer. So in conclusion, I wanted to bring your attention to this because we also have many cases in our country where you know, we get people, according to our culture, to act differently because of the stress that they get. For instance, Turhan, we have all seen it, and being a football fan, my interpretation of him is actually very different than the public, because he's actually been severely abused many times, and I think the government or the football FA should have protected him some years ago, because the last incident is not his first incident, and knowing his full story, it's actually a lot of you know, sadness that he's been collecting, and he's just going into more retaliation, and he needs, you know, therapy or treatment, if you ask me. And unless you deal with him, he will, next step is going to be even more dangerous. And the reason why I want to, you know, protect our famous people is because these countries, you know, live with their cultures, and we should protect our cultures. We should let famous people to stay as role models, and we should give a meaning to their life so that they can continue doing their job, and they can be, you know, good examples to the next generations. So that's my finding for tonight. Thank you.
Please spare 1 minute of your time to write your comments about Turhan's speech on the box of where it says comments for the first speaker. Meanwhile, I will introduce Turhan. Sorry about it. And while we write about him, let's get to know Turhan a bit more. Turhan Yardımcı is from Rize and is 37 years old. He has a bachelor's science degree from London School of Economics. He previously worked in Copenhagen and Dublin and has been back in Turkey since 2009. He works in shipping and enjoys sports, movies, and traveling. To finalize our relations, let's start in a minute.